Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Call of Duty Black Ops 4 video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about, in my opinion, the top 5 guns to go to in Black Ops 4 as of right now, and especially focused on the multiplayer. These are the guns that if you pick these and build class setups around them, synchronizing your attachments and your perks well, and I have a bunch of different class setup videos on my channel. I'm trying to go through and do all of the popular weapons. Of course, this game just came out a couple days ago, but I've been absolutely enjoying it, and these are 5 weapons where you really can't go wrong in this meta, where this is the first, as the game released. In this current meta, these 5 weapons are honestly kind of overpowered. I'm going to explain each and why I like them. If you guys could drop a like, let's go for 2,000 likes. That would be absolutely amazing. Smack that like button. If we could hit 2,000, that would just be insane. You guys have been supporting the channel at insane rates, and I just appreciate it so much. Drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new, and let's get right into it. So, the first gun on my list, and this is going to be the top 5 guns in my opinion. Let me know your personal top 5 in the comment section down below. And also, these are in no particular order because I don't want to put them in order, because for someone that likes, SMGs, they might put that SMG as number 1. For someone who's not an SMG player and their playstyle fits a burst weapon, they might have a burst weapon at number 1. So that's why I'm not going to put these in in any specific order. You guys can put them in your own order if you want, but these are the top 5 weapons, and they're mainly assault rifles and SMGs because these are weapons that you're going to want to, try hard to do good with. So, first one is going to be, once again, in no particular order, the ICR. The ICR right now is overpowered, and a lot of people do believe this gun is the best in the game. I think it is the best in the game for range, for sure. This gun, you have the attachments Grip 1 and Grip 2, and what you have with Grip 2 is it's basically toughness. So, you have a no recoil machine where they can't even make you flinch in these extended gunfights, and the ICR just absolutely melts because of that. If you're looking for a sturdy gun that at long range you don't have to worry about anything, and even though it's the ICR, this basically plays like the ACR. You're no recoil gun, but the thing is that the ACR in previous CODs, while it was a no recoil gun, it still took a decent amount of shots to kill, and it still was overpowered in those games as well. But in this game, it just feels like it's high damage, no recoil at all, no flinch, and there's not too many downsides of using this weapon. The only downsides are terrible hipfire, which pretty much every gun in this game has. Even the SMGs don't have very good hipfire, and of course you're probably going to lose up close to something with a little bit more of a fire rate. But if you play to the playstyle of taking on gunfights at medium to long range, you're going to win the majority of gunfights, and other people trying to outfight you with the KN-57 or with guns that have a little bit more recoil, it's just going to be tough going against the ICR. Do I think this weapon will be nerfed? Most likely. Either they're going to buff like all the SMGs or something, because assault rifles are way too strong compared to SMGs as of right now, or potentially weapons like this will be seeing nerfs. This happens a lot at the start of different Call of Duty games. They will update, they will patch different stuff, and of course after they do, I'll probably make top guns after patches, and I will keep you guys up to date with everything. That's why you guys should subscribe to the channel if you guys are interested in Black Ops 4, because I've been loving this game. Now, the second one is going to be, once again, no particular order, the Vapor. Now, the Vapor is, I've said before that this is the best gun in the game, and I think this is the best overall as of right now. Like I said, you're not going to beat the ICR at range, but the ICR only doesn't have many attachments available to it. You pretty much are stuck going Grip 1 and 2, which is great, but it fits a certain playstyle. This is the Vapor, which I think this is the best assault rifle that you can sort of play like an SMG, especially when SMGs are so weak in this game as of right now. You slap a red dot on this thing, you slap stock on, you slap a suppressor on, you slap fast mags, and this thing is absolutely amazing. I really do like this Vapor. Reminds me a lot of the way I use a suppressor on it. Reminds me a lot of basically the Honey Badger from Call of Duty Ghosts, and in the sense that a lot of people say it reminds them of the Peacekeeper as well, in the sense that it is an assault rifle, but you can play it up close and personal a lot more than you can with other guns. And even with the current state of the SMGs, you could probably beat those ones up close the majority of the time anyway. Plus you have a built-in silencer, plus this thing has very little to no recoil. I like using this gun a lot, and I think that suppressors are you know, they're kind of cool in this game. They're just not available on many weapons. But if you do want a suppressed assault rifle class setup and one where you can be a little more aggressive while also having a gun that you can rely on, you're not going to beat this. This is probably the class setup I've been going to the most. And because the ICR is so great and so strong on a map like this, though, there's not really many long gunfights or long sights. You know, maybe I could play that right side outside of where the vent area was with the ICR, but I feel like to play up close and personal and to play the angles or play the doorways, as I like to call it, this is probably one of the best ARs to do it, and it definitely is a gun that I very much enjoy. Like I said, the Vapor, it can be used in a you know, variety of different ways because of the variety of attachments available to it, but I prefer to use it as a little bit of a more aggressive AR with that silencer, give me a little bit of a stealth aspect, and this thing has little to no recoil as well, which you will find about the majority of guns on this list. You don't even need a grip on it. This thing, this is like the Honey Badger, absolutely awesome. Next gun on this list is going to be a tactical rifle, which is basically an assault rifle, but they separated the fully auto assault rifles from the semi-auto and burst ones, so they're in a separate category. The Auger, the ABR, and the Swordfish. I'm going to get around and, you know, I'm starting to work on those guns, max those out, and start to do class ups on those, you know, but I want to play around with them first and make sure I have the best class up. So what I'm putting as in my top 5 guns is the Swordfish, and this is for people that like burst weapons. If you like the M8 from previous Black Ops games, you will like this one because this gun is a 4-round burst. There also is an operator mod which allows it to turn into a 5-round burst, which of course you have to max out the gun to get. But a fun fact about this weapon is that there is a default class, because you don't unlock the Swordfish till level 55, and it's between when I was picking a gun for this top 5 list, I wanted to get a burst weapon in because I think they are strong in this game, and it was just between the ABR and the Swordfish. Right now I'm leaning towards the Swordfish. Of course that will change over time, potentially, maybe it will, but this gun is unlocked level 55, which is probably a big drawback to it, but at the same time that also sort of gives it the cosign as, okay, this is a pretty strong gun. If we're not going to give it to you till 55 and say, hey, if you want to bring this through the prestiges, if you are going to be prestiging, you are going to have to use a prestige unlock token on it. This gun is nice. It is nice to have like basically a 2-round burst gun. It kills pretty much in two bursts pretty much every single time, especially at medium range. And in a game where the health is increased, it is nice to have something that is reliable. Don't expect too many 1 bursts with this unless the enemy is weak, but 2 bursts consistently and occasionally 3 bursts if you are missing some shots like I am right there. I think this weapon is pretty cool. It does default come with a crazy sort of scope on it, so that's why as soon as it was available for me, I slapped a reflex on, just because I don't like the big crowded scopes. I've never been a fan of those. If I am running something that's probably on the majority of SMGs or ARs or tactical rifles, it's probably going to be a red dot, a reflex sight, or an ELO, or something that's not too intrusive, like, you know, a super big ACOG sight or something like that. Next on my list is going to be the only SMG on this top 5 gun list, and this is going to be the GKS. Now, in my opinion, the GKS is the best SMG for now, especially because it isn't unlocked too late, and I was picking between the GKS or the MX9 for this slot, and the reason why I actually went with the GKS over the MX9 is because as of right now, there is I'm not sure if it has been patched yet, I'm pretty sure it hasn't, but it probably will very soon, but there's a glitch in the game where you basically get long barrel 1 and long barrel 2 for free on the GKS, and essentially what that means is, for right now, for some reason, this gun has more range than even a couple of the assault rifles, and way more range than any of the SMGs off of a rip, which is absolutely crazy. Plus you can mix this gun up with grip 1 and grip 2, much like the ICR, and for those reasons, 38 bullets, 56 with extended mags if you want to run that, which I don't think you even need to run. You guys should check out my GKS class setup. I go way more in depth with this, but this is the SMG that I find to be the most reliable. It does take a lot of bullets to kill at range, even though, like I said, it has long barrel sort of glitched into it. It does take a lot of bullets to kill at range, but this gun is one that is another no recoil beast, like you'll notice with a lot of guns on this list, and it is a gun that you can rely on at close range, and even at a medium range. It's just, I don't think that it's bad, you know, necessarily, but with 150 health, enemies will eat bullets, and it will feel like they're eating bullets, especially if you're used to using an ICR or a Vapor that melts. But if you're looking for an SMG, and of course there's pluses and minuses to using an SMG versus, you know, to using a GKS versus a Vapor, there's benefits and drawbacks to each of them. The main thing is the attachments available and the difference in actual movement speed. strafing speed, different stuff like that, which can seem very minimal, but can actually make the difference in gunfights in a twitch shooter game like Call of Duty. GKS is what I'm rocking with the SMGs, but overall, Treyarch, please buff the SMGs, make them comparable to the ARs, especially on these small maps. It shouldn't feel like every map you have to pick an AR, and that was, you know, certain maps I feel like you have to run an SMG, or maybe like a Vapor, which is like an AR version of an SMG. Anyway, coming in and at number 5, these are in no order once again, but the last of my top 5 guns is going to be the Rampart, and I love the Rampart. I see some people saying, why would you use the Rampart when you can get the ICR? But I think of it a little bit differently, where if you have very good aim, and this gun is available with high caliber 1 and high caliber 2, increasing your damage to headshots as well as to the upper body. If you trust your aim and you trust your ability to be able to aim at that, in that vicinity of your target, of your enemy, this gun can be an absolute monster, and it's super duper easy to get headshots with if you're trying to go for camos at all. It's just a really fun gun to use. Reminds me of the Scar from previous Call of Duties, and I just really do like this thing. Now, does it have a little bit of recoil? It does have, I don't know if I would say recoil, I guess a tiny bit, but it does have a little bit of a bounce to it, which you'll see I'll miss a couple shots because of that, and that's basically the trade-off with this. Sure, you're gonna miss a couple shots maybe because it doesn't have the laser accuracy of the ICR, but you're gonna be doing more damage if you are taking advantage of high caliber 1 and high caliber 2, which is basically the main benefit to using this weapon. So I highly recommend that you are doing that. I like the Rampart, and I think it is a fun way to mix it up from the ICR. Plus, it's also, if we were to compare, I'd say ICR is, to put it in simple terms, obviously these are very complex weapons, and you'd have to break down every single stat and every single scenario, which obviously there's millions and thousands of scenarios that can happen in a Call of Duty match, and that's what makes the game so good, along with pretty much any sort of multiplayer video game. You're repeating the same stuff over and over, but it's different enemies, it's different scenarios, and I would say if you want to put it in simple terms, this will probably melt enemies at closer ranges, but the ICR will melt them at longer ranges. But either way, I think it's up to personal preference, and test out the Rampart. Make sure to max it out, earn high caliber 1 and high caliber 2 before you give an honest opinion of this gun. This thing is a monster, and those are my top 5 guns as of right now in Black Ops 4. Thanks for watching. If you guys made it to the end, you gotta subscribe. Click that subscribe button, drop a like if you guys made it all the way to the end, and thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great night. I'm out. Peace.